The Board of Peace is just the latest fig leaf for Israeli impunity. Al-Shura meets Putin as Russia seeks to secure military bases in Syria. Turkey urges U.S. to resolve Iran disputes one by one, says Iran ready for nuclear talks. South Korea's ex-First Lady jailed for 20 months for corruption. Iranian drone swarms raise alarm for U.S. Navy. Critics of the Gaza ceasefire agreement are accusing Israel of using the deal to secure the release of captives while continuing military operations and maintaining severe restrictions on humanitarian aid. Activists and rights groups claim that since the ceasefire was announced, more than 700 Palestinians have been killed or injured by Israeli fire. They report incidents involving civilians, including children and journalists, and warn that humanitarian conditions have worsened due to shortages of shelter, fuel, and medical supplies. Aid agencies say deliveries into Gaza remain heavily restricted. Reports indicate delays in aid convoys, blocked shelter materials, limited medical equipment, and reduced access for international humanitarian organizations. Israel maintains that such controls are necessary for security reasons. Disputes have also emerged over a military buffer zone established under the ceasefire. Palestinian residents say shifting access rules have prevented them from returning to homes or retrieving belongings. Israeli officials say the measures are in place to prevent security threats. Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara is meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow as Russia seeks to secure its military presence in Syria following the fall of former leader Bashar al-Assad last year. The Kremlin confirmed that talks will focus on Russian troops stationed at Syria's Hmeimim Air Base and Tartus Naval Base, Moscow's last remaining military outposts outside the former Soviet Union. Earlier this week, Russia withdrew forces from a base in northeast Syria, leaving only these two Mediterranean installations. Since Assad was overthrown in December 2024, Russia has moved quickly to build relations with Syria's new leadership. Despite having backed Assad during the civil war, Moscow is now working to maintain its strategic foothold in the country and preserve its influence in the Middle East. President al-Shara has taken a pragmatic approach, allowing Russia to keep its bases. However, a key point of tension remains Russia's decision to grant asylum to Assad and his wife, who fled to Moscow. The Kremlin has not said whether it will consider Syria's request to extradite the former leader. Turkey's foreign minister has urged the United States to settle its disputes with Iran step by step rather than through one sweeping agreement, warning that a broad deal could humiliate Iranian leaders and derail diplomacy. Speaking to Al Jazeera, Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said Ankara opposes any foreign military action against Iran, calling it wrong to start another war. He advised Washington to handle issues with Tehran one at a time, beginning with Iran's nuclear program, instead of combining all demands into a single package. Fidan said forcing multiple disputes into one large deal would be difficult for Iranian officials to accept and could appear politically humiliating. He added that Iran is ready for talks on its nuclear program. His comments come as President Donald Trump increases pressure on Tehran. Trump recently said a U.S. naval armada is positioned near Iran, while warning against renewed nuclear activity or further violence against protesters. A South Korean court has sentenced former First Lady Kim Kyon-hee to 20 months in prison on corruption charges, while acquitting her of stock manipulation and several other accusations. The 53-year-old has long been at the center of controversy during her husband Yoon Suk-yeol's presidency. Both are now in custody, Yoon for his role in last year's failed declaration of martial law, and Kim for corruption-related offenses. Prosecutors accused Kim of receiving expensive gifts and bribes from business figures and the leader of the Unification Church, including luxury handbags and jewelry. She was also accused of election interference and stock market manipulation. On Wednesday, the Seoul Central District Court found her guilty of corruption, but cleared her of stock manipulation and campaign finance violations. Kim attended the hearing, dressed in black, as the verdict was delivered. She has denied all major allegations, calling them unjust, though she previously apologized for causing public concern and acknowledged making mistakes. A military drone expert is warning that Iran's drone swarms could pose a serious threat to U.S. naval forces operating in the region, as Washington moves to strengthen its military presence in West Asia. Cameron Chell, CEO of drone manufacturer Dragonfly, told U.S. media that Iran has developed advanced unmanned aerial capabilities that could be used in large-scale swarm attacks against high-value targets, including American aircraft carrier strike groups, such as the USS Abraham Lincoln. He said Iran's drone program represents a low-cost but highly effective asymmetric threat against sophisticated military systems. According to Chell, if Iran launches hundreds of drones in a short time, some could penetrate existing defense systems, which were not originally designed to handle saturation attacks. He added that U.S. surface vessels operating near Iran are large, slow-moving, and easily tracked by radar, making them potential targets.